Hi everybody, welcome to Tech Tip Friday. I'm Kurt Staley, that plastics guy, and I'm bringing you a buying tip for this Friday. And I hope you're all doing well. I think most of you who are involved with the industry and just generally paying attention to the current political climate, i.e. things south of the border. We all know that the world is going a little bit off kilter at the moment, and certainly the cost of living and the price of things, well, they've been seemingly doing nothing but going up. Now in Canada, we've had a break on the carbon tax, so gas prices have reduced. It's not quickly translating into much of anything else, as I'm sure we're working off higher cost inventories that had some carbon tax rolled into it, which makes sense. Prices, economics 101, prices are downwardly sticky or inflexible. But when it comes to commodities, the commodity markets do not lie, and they change in real time. And I find with resin sales, prices that worked for me 30 to 45 days ago are no longer working. And typically my client base is not multiple rail cars a week. I work with SMEs who are buying 1, 2, or 3 cartons at a time, that type of thing. And the competition has never been more fierce. Now, I think if you take a snapshot of any point in time in history, you could probably say that with certain cycles. But if you remember when we were going through the pandemic, and there were massive supply chain disruptions and shortages of items, you could sell pretty much whatever you had at, well, not necessarily setting your own price, but pretty damn close. We're seeing the opposite of that right now. A lot of the, I'm not sure I want to say gains, but upward movements in pricing. It's not a gain for somebody like me if we raise our prices because our buy prices raise. We're just trying to keep our margins where they were. But prices are definitely dropping. As I said just a few moments ago, prices that worked, 30, 45 days ago, they're not working now. So I have to go back to my suppliers, the distributors, the compounders, the manufacturers, and negotiate better prices. But in a manner that's very similar to what you see with the gas wars between gas stations. Once somebody has a load of gas on their facility, their inventory is sort of set for a while unless they get some authorization from head office to drop pricing, and the accounting isn't pretty, but it's handled somewhere else. Hey, small guys like me, we can't really afford to do that so easily. Big companies can't either, I might add. And when we have to drop prices, it's eating into our margins. So what do our margins pay for? I think this is an important thing to clarify. Well, hey, look, we all have to eat. We've got perhaps a company car to put on the road, insurance costs. If we have administrative support, we've got to pay for that. But we also have to be available to look after our clients, to be there in the tech service calls, to answer questions, to put our sort of engineering caps on when there are new programs that come up and we have to offer some assistance on what materials should be used in that particular project. So we can't just be constantly beat up on pricing. And at some point in time, we'll choose to walk away from certain pieces of business when it drops below our threshold. And as a resin buyer, hey, look, this is a great time for you. It's almost like the housing market. It's a buyer's market to some degree. But there is always going to be a point at which the seller, guys like me, will just have to walk away from the business because we have to support our business. And sometimes selling zero is a better deal than selling product at a loss. I think that should be kind of obvious, I would hope. There are loss leader business models, of course, but look, you got to put something on the books. So as a resin buyer, good time for you. As a resin seller, hey, we have to be careful, we have to be creative, but just know there's going to be a time where the resin sellers also choose to do a no sale. And have some compassion if you're buying resins. I mean, we're all getting squeezed. We all have to make a few bucks, I understand. But just have some compassion for us. We're not trying to rip you off. So that is my little comment for today. The tech buying tip, or the buying tip Friday. I'll leave it with you. Have a great Friday. We've got a long, well, maybe not a long weekend, depending on what you're doing. If you're taking the Monday off, Canada Day is Tuesday, and then of course south of the border, July 4th is your big day. So it's probably going to be well, it's going to be an interesting week coming up, I suppose. At any rate, whatever your plans are, have a great Friday today, a great weekend, and however you observe your holidays next week, just do it safely. We want you back. At any rate, take care. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.